Yash, so why do some people get scared of your light? Why aren't they drawn to it? I mean, isn't light good? How can people be drawn to darkness? It's like that though sometimes. So I got a good question. I wanted to read it and answer it. It's from the Northern Spirit. It says, I wish to hear more about semen retention and different encountering with energy. For example, I can see that the bad spirits in other people, it's not really bad spirits, it's ego. And spirit's pure. This is what we're trying to connect with. Spirit. The spirit's it's beyond pure. It can't do wrong. So the whole point, the highest purpose a human being has, the spirit incarnates into this human form, and then the game begins. It's like the spirit thinks it's this human form, but at the same time, it's still the spirit. It's like dreaming a little bit. So this human form, this construct, this mind needs to merge with the pure spirit, and then the spirit can shine through this form. Does that make sense? So anyway, it's the sleeping consciousness that you're talking about here in other people. It says, I can see the bad spirits in other people. They don't like my high energy or light. When I encounter them in daily life, they don't like my high energy and light when I encounter them in daily life. How's the sun? Semen retention and spirituality go deep. It's like you're walking with God inside. You see, so you're saying what I was saying. It's like you are walking with God. It's like there's two, right? So it's like the sleeping spirit is now walking with the pure spirit. I'm trying to give you a bad analogy of what we're all trying to do here, especially on my Spiritual Renaissance channel, because this is all I talk about there. But the two go together. Semen retention, spirituality, it goes together. I think, you just said that. Semen retention and spirituality go deep. I was going to make a video about how the two go together and how they potentiate each other. See, if somebody's just doing spirituality, so to speak, but they're doing PMO at the same time, they're not gonna get any results or gains. And if you're just doing semen retention, but you're not at least open to growing spiritually, because you're going to grow spiritually if you're doing semen retention. There's no way around it, because your faculties are going to increase in frequency, and the higher conscious we get, the more we just realize it's like we're not this machine. It's like the higher intelligence questions start. It's like, well, who am I? What's going on? And then something starts to feel like, whoa, I'm maybe spirit, or I'm consciousness playing the role as this human being. This is what happens. So he says it feels like you're walking with God inside. Yeah, you're connected. You're connected to this source. There's more of a conscious contact with that now. Whereas before, people are just unconscious of it. They're still connected to their source, otherwise we couldn't exist. But the connection is more unconscious. But see, by doing semen retention, healthy lifestyle, it's like this connection becomes more conscious. And you start to feel like, whoa, I'm walking with spirit, or I'm walking with God. That's what he's saying. So it's you that these demons or low energy spirits dislike. That's what he's saying. He's just saying these things don't like the light. The negativity doesn't like the light. It likes more negativity. And the light is more attracted to light than negativity. It's a law of resonance, That's just what it is. Unless those people who they're in darkness, but somehow they're wanting to come out of it, they'll be attracted to you. Those are your people. Those are the people you want to help. Don't try to help the people who don't want to be helped. They'll just treat you bad. First, I took it personal a little bit when these these low energy people, they weren't liking me. He's taking it personal. Ego took it personal. It's like, what's wrong? Don't you see, man? I'm vibing. Like, what's up? Like, how are you not attracted to me? And then the ego, the mind, will be like, hey, maybe this semen retention is not working. It wants to play that angle. Maybe I'm not vibing. See, you'll judge your inner state based on how people perceive you. You'll judge your inner state based on external situations. Now, sure, the inner state reflects. You attract more higher level external situations, more higher level people. Yeah, that's part of it. But when it comes to human beings, you got to be able to discern. And he did. At first he had this thought, but then later he figured it out. I'm going to read that. But you got to sense who's giving you negativity. Do they have light? Is it the light that's giving you negativity? Are they people that you respect and they're like, kind of like, man, you're not doing something right? Or is it that? Because then you might want to look at yourself. Maybe they're calling you out somehow and they see something that you might need to correct. But if it's just some raging alcoholic out on the street, I'm giving an extreme example for illustrative purposes. If it's just some crazy person who's just pissed off at the world, and then you walk by and then they start attacking you, verbally or physically, are you gonna give that kind of attack and reaction any validation? I mean, look where it's coming from. You see, so you gotta kind of let intelligence size up these reactions you're getting. Or if you're at work and maybe the boss, you're starting to vibe, and the boss doesn't like it. He liked you better when you were stressed out and you're all like, low. Now you're vibing, he doesn't like it. He might feel you're more of a boss than he is. You see, your energy's more boss. So that can happen too. Yeah, that happens more than. Unfortunately, it happens a lot. So he used to take this personal, but later he says, I understand it's my light that they dislike. Can you make a video about this? It'd be great. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, it's your light. I mean, look what they did to Jesus. That's heavy, right? Man probably never hurt anybody. And they did some things, that's heavy. That's one example. There's many people getting crucified on some level, mentally, physically, psychologically, for having this light. This planet's not so easy. What did Nelson Mandela say? Actually, there's a feud. There's controversy. Did he say it or did Marianne Williams say it? I mentioned that before in the video. It doesn't matter. He says, or she says, that, and sometimes you can say the same thing. A person on one side of the world and another side, they can write a book, say the same thing. And then people try to, their authors or, their editors or somebody, the companies, publishing companies try to sue them. They're like, and then they'll sue them though. They'll be like, no, man, I said it. This is original. No. How? Because consciousness can express like that. There's one, you can say, universal mind, and if all this stuff, nothing's genuine when you get right down to it. Everything's already been written. It's just we can tap into it, So, of course, there can be two beings that can tap into the same thing at the same time. Anyway, what did he say? He said that it's our light that we're most scared of. This is what our biggest. I'm chop sueying his words because I don't remember exactly. I'd have to think, and I don't know how long it would take me to think to come up with it. But it's it's not that our biggest fear is that we're inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. That's what he said. That's strong. Why is that our biggest fear? Probably because what he's saying. Something is like, no, man, I can't I can't come out fully. I'm gonna disturb people. They're gonna get all, I need to play small, and then they won't be offended. They'll like me. I went through that my whole life, man. I didn't even know what it was at first. I was going through that as a kid at school and as a teenager and the jobs I had. I would just make people uncomfortable and intimidate them, and I didn't understand why. I found a good mentor later, and he explained it to me. So don't shrink like that. You got to connect with this God spiritual power. See, he said, semen retention, spirituality go together. They do. What do they say? God and I are a majority. Then you don't worry. You don't worry about how other people react. And then when you're strong like that, you'll attract those who either appreciate it or they also want to emanate this force they know they have inside, but they're a little insecure and scared, but they see you doing it, so they're drawn to you. It's like, can you show me how to do that? Like, I want to do it too, but I'm scared and all that. And then you can help them. You show them the way. You have courage. You're like, yeah, just don't worry about it. You be strong inside with yourself, and the universe will work all this stuff out. The people that don't like it, you won't even see them. Don't pay them no mind. It gets to where they're not on your radar anymore. And also intuitively, you kind of know how to act. This higher intelligence is really something. You'll be approaching maybe some people like that. You can already tell by the way they're looking at you. Something registers, like, okay, they don't like this light. That's cool. I'm not going to play it up, and I'm not going to play it down. I'm just solid. I'm going to be centered. I'm not going to really pay much attention to them. I'm not going to give them any kind of respondent vibration that they can react to. This is intuitive stuff that will come, and it'll come for everybody if you just keep staying clear and you keep doing this practice. You'll know how to handle situations where before they used to be confusing for you. That's the promise. Good. Make it come true. Talk to you soon.